With buffs to Samira, Garen, and Sure Shot in 13.8, this carry is going to help you farm ranked wins all patch long, and we're here to help you get ready for it. Let's break down Sure Shot Samira. Now there's two main openers you can play when you want a Samira endgame. Option 1 is Underground 4 or 3 with Brawler or Duelist Splash. However, Underground can be tough to play since you get no combat stats from the main trait, and the units themselves are pretty weak unless you get early 2 stars. This is a 1st or 8th opener. Option 2, you play for Defender 2, Sure Shot 2, which is much more stable early and overall a better option. Defender is good early when frontline is super important. If you hit any 2 stars, you should be looking to hot streak. At level 5, add Pantheon or Lucian, as you want to play Infinite Team 3 once you get a Shen in the mid game. You can also drop Sure Shot 2 for both and get Infinite Team 3 early. If you get early damage items, then Sure Shot is better to play, but if you get tank items, Infinite Team is usually better since the portal typically spawns in the first row. In the mid game, you still want to keep playing Defender Infinite Team. You want to swap out Poppy for Riven, as you want Wukong in the late game, and you also want to upgrade Pantheon for Shen. From here, you should look to fit in Rel for Defender 4. Now because AP is so strong this patch, it puts this comp in a weird spot. Defender is easier to fit in, but Aegis is crucial, so if the lobby is heavy AP, throw in Alistar and Vi over Wukong and Rel, but make sure to keep Wukong on bench as you'll want him later. As you move into the late game, you want to fit in Samira and make Garen your main tank. You want to roll down at level 8 for Samira 2, Garen 2, and possibly an Ultimate Ezreal and Leona 1. From there, go level 9 and fit your last unit in, which ideally would be your Aegis unit. Vi is there for Brawler on screen, but Echo is excellent and Alistar can work as a substitute. You can also keep Ashe for Sure Shot 4, but this makes your front line a bit small, which can be dangerous. Now if the lobby is heavy AP, which is very possible, you want to go for Aegis 4 ASAP. You'll still want to play Mega Prime frontline, but instead the Prime will be Leona. You'll also need to secure Echo 2 while rolling down, which is much more important than Garen 2 in this situation. Not only that, but Riven and Shen get dropped for more Aegis, so you lose Infinity. This comp has more to manage, and there can be a lot of variations, so keep scouting for which version you should play. From here, items, augments, and positioning will determine who takes first, so let's break that down. For damage items, you want to go for full damage. Last Whisper to shred frontline is crucial, then any combination of Infinity Edge, Deathblade, and Giant Slayer for extra damage. Healing items like Gunblade or Bloodthirster can be slammed if you're desperate, but it's not ideal. For tank items, standard options like Warmogs for health, Dragon's Claw, or Bramble depending on enemy comps is what should be played. If you go for a smaller frontline, slamming Gargoyle Stoneplate on your Mecha Prime is very strong. You can also slam this on Echo, so I would also consider a main item. Now for extra items, there's tons you can slam here. Redemption is excellent, especially with a Mecha frontline, as you get massive ticks on Garen or Leona. Sunfire Cape is great for anti-heal, but isn't the main item here, because you need mechas as beefy as possible. Locket is a desperate item slam, but can be useful when you need that added health and have nothing else to make. Shroud of Darkness is really good in the late game only, especially against AP comps. Shroud can make the difference between winning and losing, especially if you mana reave a ton of units. Now let's talk about augments. Aegis Crown is excellent for hitting 5 Aegis. You can also use this when you play Defender, as an extra Aegis boost is very nice. Sure Shot Crown is excellent to add more damage, and it should be given to Bel'Veth, Warwick, or other AD carries in the late game. Cybernetic Uplink is surprisingly great in this comp. Samira, Ezreal, and Leona all have large mana bars, which means they can cast really quickly with this augment. Stand United is a great way to add extra damage when you need it, as you get tons of splash traits in this comp, especially if you have 4 backliners dealing damage. Makeshift Armor is very powerful here. When you get this augment, focus around damage items and play many backline carries, letting the frontline tank naturally. Thrill of the Hunt is really good for Samira because she gets tons of chain burst kills, allowing her to heal very quickly. Now moving into hero augments, both of Samira's choices are S tier. I prefer Style and Flare, as when you chain kills, this allows you to do back-to-back casts very quickly. The next S tier choice is Shen's Recursion Matrix. This is really good when you're lacking frontline, so always take this if you can. Now for our first A tier choice is Echo's Chrono Break. Although 10 seconds is a long time to wait, that mid-round stun allows Samira to wipe up the board very quickly. Next up we have Sivir's Time and a Half. This is really good because it gives you extra gold useful for rolling down at level 8 or going for fast 9. Either way, the gold is very useful. Our last A tier choice is Wukong's Re-Energize. This is really good to give Samira her mana back after her first cast, allowing her to double cast very quickly. Now for our B tier choices, we have Vi's Boxing Lessons, which gives good health, but it's only useful if you can get an early Vi 2-star. And the other option, Accelerated Mentors from Ultimate Ezreal, is only useful to fast 9. Sure, it gives a free Ultimate Ezreal, but you're likely to get it on 4-2 when you're close to level 8 or 9 anyway. Now for positioning, there's a few things to keep in mind. First, make sure to always keep your units spread out. There's plenty of anti-clump spells like Janna's ult, Misfortune, Urgot, and Fiddlesticks. You need to constantly be scouting to avoid these, and there's no benefit to grouping your backline when you play this comp. Next, always try to keep Echo in front of Samira to buy her space to work with when he taunts. When playing Infinite Team in the endgame, if the portal is in front, then Shen will use it, but if the portal is in back, allow for Ultimate Ezreal to create the double. This gives you a huge damage spike. Aside from this, try to keep Samira on the same side as the enemy Jhin and Misfortune carries, while also keeping her isolated. Doing this will allow her to avoid the spells, while also having Samira target them first with her spell, because they will target the largest clump and the furthest target, giving Samira a nice pocket to freely shoot. Did this guide help you? Leave a like and comment below. It helps others find the video too. Until next time, I'm Swagadelic.